Hi, I'm Phileas Stain and I'm the safari expert. And in this week's episode, we're exploring Akagera National Park in beautiful Rwanda. From Kigali, it's about a 3-hour drive to Ruzizi Tented Lodge, which is located in one of Rwanda's largest protected areas, Akagera National Park. Not only is it the only place in the country that you can spot all of the big five, but its habitats are also very diverse. The landscape consists of dense woodland, open savannas, rolling hills, papyrus swamps, and large lakes. Ruzizi Tented Lodge lies right on the edge of the largest lake in Akagera, Lake Ihema, at the southern tip of the park. Tucked away in a lush forest and connected by long wooden walkways are a series of luxurious safari tents that are available in double, twin, or family room configurations. Each tent has its own ensuite bathroom with hot shower, small desk, mosquito nets, shaded veranda, and a stunning view. The best view, however, is from the treetop suite, which is more spacious than the other tents and also has a bath and outdoor shower. The tents here at Ruzizi are spaced very far apart, which makes them nice and private. And I just love walking on these long wooden walkways. Not only have they got some information boards about the trees that grow in the area, but it's also a great opportunity to do some bird watching in these thickets along Lake Ihema. At the center of the lodge is a communal lounge and bar, a small shop next to reception, and an indoor dining area. And only a short walk away is a spa. But the heart of Ruzizi is a large wooden dining deck surrounded by colossal wild date palms overlooking the lake. This is where guests enjoy all of their meals and sundowner drinks. Here we were serenaded by hippos and African fish eagles while we watched hundreds of waterbirds fly overhead each morning and evening. But it's not only the privacy and breathtaking sunrises and sunsets that I like about Ruzizi. I also love the fact that it's an eco-lodge.
Ruzizi Tented Lodge is an eco-lodge 100% solar powered, and we use water from borehole. All of our tent has its own solar heater, which takes 30 seconds to 1 minute for hot water. And to serve water and juice, we use calaf to reduce single plastic use in the forest. And we recommend all the guests to bring their own bottles, which can be refilled anytime with mineral water for drinking. Each of the vegetables and fruits we use here are from local community, as well as 100% of revenue is for local community and conservation of the park activities.
Speaking of activities, there's no shortage of things to do when you stay at Ruzizi, as I found out the following morning. It's not really necessary to set an alarm here, because if you're not woken up by the sound of hippos, all these beautiful bird calls will certainly do the trick. After grabbing a fresh cup of coffee and enjoying a delicious breakfast on the deck, we were met by our guide, Justice, who gave us a quick orientation with the help of the Akagera map next to reception. And then it was time to hit the road. The southern parts of Akagera are very dense, but a good road network along the lake shores, where the vegetation opens up a bit, provides great game viewing opportunities. We saw plenty of elephants, zebras, and even a few hippos outside of the water. The fringes of the lake are also great for bird watching, and if, like us, you're a keen bird watcher, I highly recommend going out with one of Akagera's expert bird guides, especially if you're looking for specific species. Our guide, Penina, knew exactly where to find red-faced barbets, which was a lifer for us. Night drives are also available from Ruzizi and typically leave around sunset, returning approximately 2.5 hours later depending on what you see. One activity that you simply can't miss is a boat cruise on Lake Ihema. This is a great way to see hippos, crocodiles, and a spectacular variety of water-loving birds. Or, if you're as fortunate as we were, we're so lucky on our boat cruise, we just came around a corner and here are 3 big elephants right next to us. We also spotted a herd of Cape buffalo along the lakeshore and ended the outing by passing a noisy island nesting site where hundreds of cormorants, darters, and herons breed. Wow, that was one of the most incredible boat safaris that I've ever done. And it certainly was as good, if not better, than the ones that I've done in Botswana in places like the Chobe River or the Okavango Delta. If you're interested in learning and seeing how African parks run Akagera, you can book a behind-the-scenes tour.
In addition of saying Big Five, the visitor of Akagera National Park have opportunity to do behind-the-scene tour where we explain the history of park, visit of our control room and our canine unity.
This really is an incredible way to experience Akagera in a completely different way. Finally, we visited the Akagera Community Center, which is located less than 5 minutes from the park's southern gate. How's that for a welcome at the community center? Community guide Etienne Kutibaku gave us a tour of the facility where we learned more about the history of the park and its habitats in the Savannah Learning Center and walked through the community nursery where they not only grow their own mushrooms but also keep bees in traditional hives. And luckily for us, they sell gigantic and delicious pots of honey produced and processed on site in their little shop, which also contains a selection of locally crafted gifts. It's been absolutely fascinating walking through the community center with Etienne and seeing exactly how they're teaching the youth about conservation and also how exactly African parks are helping the community members to benefit from Akagera National Park. Akagera, with its abundant wildlife, diverse habitats and striking scenery, and in particular Ruzizi Tented Lodge with its wooden walkways and magical location, is a must-visit for anyone traveling to Rwanda. The comfort, superb service levels, and especially the people and their warm, friendly smiles certainly made me wish that I was staying longer. From Ruzizi Tented Lodge, I headed for Karenge Bush Camp. Although it'll only take you 3 hours to get from Kigali to Akagera, realistically you'll need another 4 to 5 hours to drive from the southern entrance gate all the way to the northern tip of the park where Karenge is located, especially if you're looking for animals along the way. The northern gate is for exiting only. The far north of the park looks very different to the dense woodland and lakes of the southern half of Akagera. Although there are a few swamps near Karenge, the area is dominated by rolling hills and savanna grassland, with the Kirara Plain, also known as the Kilala Plain, being the main attraction. Karenge is perched on top of a hill above this expansive open area, offering a breathtaking view from camp. A communal reception in the middle of camp serves as the lounge, bar and dining area and leads down to a fire pit where guests gather before and after game drives. There's also an outside terrace for open-air dining. Small pathways on either side of reception lead to very rustic but cozy safari tents fitted with the bare essentials, including 2 comfortable camp beds. Towels, solar lights and drinking water are provided inside the tents, along with a place to sit and wash up on the veranda outside. So as you can see behind me, each tent here at Karenge has an outside detached bathroom, and that has a flush toilet and a shower. And whenever you need hot water, you can just let the staff know and they'll come and fill up the shower bucket. Having a toilet with a view and the option to shower under the stars all adds to the charm of this place, and it's hard to imagine a more fitting design and location for a bush camp. Karenge really is everything that I love about a bush camp. It's nice and small, giving you an exclusive and intimate safari, and I love the fact that you sleep in canvas tents, which means you can hear all the beautiful night sounds when you go to bed, including the lions we heard roaring last night. And the fact that it's unfenced means it's an even wilder experience. But what I love about Karenge most is this beautiful view, and I can guarantee you if you sit here for long enough with a pair of binoculars, you're gonna see some animals in the valley below. Early the next morning, I went on a game drive to look for the lions that I heard that night. So we've come here to a small vantage point overlooking the Kirara Plain, and we're looking for any signs of the local lion pride. Perhaps some alarm calls, a vehicle parked somewhere, or even lions roaring. We searched all along the edge of the plain and stopped every now and again to listen, but the lions eluded us. My guide Isaac, however, assured me that this was the place to look for animals.
The game viewing here around Karenge, we are just near the plain, big plain called Kilala Plain. So when we do a game drive very early in the morning, we get lucky to see many animals such as hyenas, leopards, lions. We can see rhinos, we can see elephant, giraffe, lots of antelopes, zebras, and many more animals.
And many animals are exactly what we found. The open terrain made game viewing extremely easy, and I like the fact that they use open-sided safari vehicles here. I was also amazed at just how many of Akagera's 480 odd bird species we saw as well. At some stage, Isaac spotted some fresh tracks in the road.
This is the rhino tracks. As you can see here, this is the footprint of the rhino. It's a rhino track. And then you can see this rhino was here early morning, spent the night here.
It didn't take him long to track down 2 white rhinos. In November 2021, 30 white rhinos were translocated from South Africa to Akagera in one of the largest single rhino translocations ever. They were initially kept and eventually released very close to camp because they prefer the open habitat around Karenge, as opposed to black rhinos, which are more commonly found in the dense thickets further south in the park. Since assuming management of Akagera in 2010, African Parks has successfully transformed what was formerly a poached landscape into a now thriving national park, not only through ambitious animal reintroduction efforts, but also by actively involving the neighboring communities and focusing on sustainable, low-impact ecotourism. Like in the rest of Rwanda, here at Karenge, they've made a commitment to get rid of single-use plastics. So guests are urged to bring their own water bottles to fill up for game drives. But if you don't have one, you can also ask them for a glass bottle. Now, because the camp also relies 100% on solar energy, the power supply is limited. So you can charge small things like your cell phone through a few small USB plug points. But I do recommend that you bring some extra batteries for your cameras, and if you have one, a power bank as well. That evening we decided to go on a night drive with the hope of finding the lions. After driving right around the edge of the Kirara Plain, we finally found them. If you're looking for a rustic wilderness experience where you can reconnect with nature and see plenty of wildlife, look no further than Karenge Bush Camp in Akagera National Park.